Hey everyone, Teletran4 here, and I'm trying a little bit of an experiment with a review that I'm doing without a script this time. And I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite Transformers and my favorite toy of that Transformer, Jetfire. And you know, the thing with Jetfire is, that is his name, I don't care what anyone says, it was changed in the cartoon for dumb reasons, and anyone who's ardently standing behind him being Skyfire are just being dumb. He's been consistently Jetfire since then. So, anyway, onto the toy. Now, the aesthetic of the character with all of his armor equipped is really quite enjoyable to me, and it blends the look of the Macross Valkyrie with the Sunbow character model for Jetfire pretty seamlessly in a way that makes me really happy and really makes me consider this more or less the definitive version of Jetfire in the modern era. I also just really like how big it is. The aesthetics of the armor are really great, though one nitpick I have is the fact that with the armor you can't really do the symbol changing gimmick that you can do without the armor on. For Jetfire's head sculpt, with the battle mask on, it's not a one-to-one recreation of the Valkyrie head, but I feel like that's honestly for the best with how it looks. It honestly kind of reminds me of how Auto Trooper heads and even Bumblebee's battle mask looks, and so this is a good reinvention of the battle mask look for Jetfire. Though a tiny part of me does wish the visor was red, I think blue does honestly work better for it. And without the mask on, it does pretty much become a one-to-one recreation of the Sunbow model design, and I'm okay with it. It looks good. He looked that way in a lot of comics, so I really can't complain that much. And of course, other than a few spots that look a little weird, once you take all of the armor off, he does pretty much look one-to-one to the Sunbow model in all forms. It's just a perfect-looking Jetfire. Now, admittedly, the rotation photo I have here has his wings a little misaligned, but it's alright. And his Buster Rifle does look really cool being held there, too. And that rifle, actually, it's two rifles put together into a big-ass cannon, which is quite reminiscent of the Buster Rifle from Wing Zero from Gundam. And, you know, I'm okay with that. It looks really cool, and I think it's a good addition to Jetfire's arsenal. Now, the weird part is how this started showing up in a couple of other places after this was released. Like with that weird J Balvin version of Soundwave that was released a few years ago. And you know, actually with all of the armor taken off and put together, it does honestly quite resemble a sort of independent drone flight craft. Like maybe this is supposed to be Doc or something. Doc, for those who aren't in the know, is Jetfire's little drone buddy from the IDW comics. Now, before we move on to the articulation, let's just talk about that faction swapping gimmick. As you can see here, by flipping over the chest piece button in the middle, you can have him go from Autobot to Decepticon and back. It's pretty well executed, I'd say. I'd like to see this sort of feature on other characters like Sideways or the like in the future. And then when it comes to the posability, well, it might just be a bit easier to show you. As you can see, well, Jetfire's got some pretty heavy ratchets that do him a lot of favors with the posability in his legs and arms. The backpack going down as far as it does on his back causes some limited waist posability, which is a real shame because that really does hinder the variety of poses you can really get him into. And considering the way the backpack folds up to even get into robot mode to begin with, you would really think Hasbro would be able to mitigate that by just, you know, making it slide up a few inches more to give us access to that articulation. But it doesn't have it, and so the posability isn't the greatest with him. But there's more posability than you had with the old leader class Jetfire from the Thrilling 30 line. So I'm still overall pretty happy with it, and there's still a couple of really good poses you can get him into that look, they look solid. Now, transformation for such a large figure is pretty unwieldy, especially if you're attempting to do it on camera. But, here's what I did get. There's a bit of a jump cut between here and there, though. Now, the actual aesthetic of the jet mode really is top-notch. It really feels like the sort of vehicle you would expect to be called a sort of air guardian, as it were. Which is a retroactive term for, the Autobot equivalent of Seekers and the like, that popped up basically just in source books back then, and was mostly just a blurb used talking about Optimal Optimus. And I feel like it does make sense that Optimal Optimus's tech might resemble Jetfire's flying form, at least a little bit. But I just love this sci-fi jet. It's just, that sort of anachronistic 5 minutes into the future if we were still in 1985 kind of thing. I really like it, and I feel like we should see more of these sorts of Z-Rust designs in Transformers. It's just an aesthetic that works for the franchise, in my opinion. And it does look good with the weapons and everything on it, too. Another little feature of Jetfire's is, in jet mode, he does have several handles that come down off of him so that you can sort of have him serve as a drop ship, transporting various Transformers throughout the battlefield and the like. It's really cool. Now, recently, Siege Jetfire's gotten a bit of a reissue, being sent out and restocked in a few places. So, would I recommend you buying it? Absolutely. Pick this guy up, add him to your collection, throw that Thrilling 30 Jetfire out a window if you have to. Or don't. It's still a nice piece. I mean, anyone who has a policy of owning only one of a character is a bit short-sighted considering how often Optimus Prime gets released every year. I mean, I know there's 5 new Optimus Primes coming out this year alone. I'm probably getting at least 2 of them. But yeah, buy this Jetfire. And, if you like it, let me know down in the comments. And, for now, you're all stars. Tiv out.